When using Greatforms, there are two features that will greatly improve efficiency and accuracy for agents. First, the Address Finder API to make finding and entering a street address much faster. Second, an automated and free certificate of title and legal land description match with Land Services SA. These details are then automatically populated into your legal documents, including sales agency agreements and contracts. In addition, you can also order details about the registered proprietors for a fee. For example, you could just order the registered proprietor names who are currently registered on the title. Alternatively, you could choose to order the registered proprietor names, their address for service of notices, and the title details report relating to the property. Here we will just select the registered proprietor names. If you have a credit card stored on the system, that card will be charged. Alternatively, it will invite you to enter credit card details and will then go on to retrieve the data from Land Services SA. That way you know who the current registered proprietor on the title is and if you are dealing with the appropriate person to proceed with your sale. When preparing documents using Greatforms, you'll notice that the default screen has a wizard on the left-hand side and a live PDF preview of the legal document on the right-hand side. It allows you to resize the screen as you want, potentially just viewing the preview only or viewing the wizard only. Having the wizard allows us to request validated information and embed rules in the system. For example, under the price section of the sales agency agreement, the agent might estimate the selling price of $750,000 and the vendor wants to sell for $800,000. They select a range and it will automatically calculate the prescribed minimum advertising price and range to advertise that property. If I attempted to enter a lower amount, it wouldn't allow me to do so. And if I entered a higher amount on the upper limit, it would automatically adjust the lower limit to ensure the 10% threshold is not breached. In addition, there are guidance notes embedded throughout Greatforms to assist the person completing the documentation to understand what's being requested and the legal background behind it. Further, we have minimum requirements set for electronically signing a document such that you don't complete and sign a sales agency agreement that is missing information that's required by legislation and which could result in you not being able to recover your commission or marketing expenses. These guidance notes and embedded rules reduce risk for agents and increase certainty for the parties involved in the transaction. Built within the Greatforms platform for no additional cost is a state-of-the-art e-signing capability. Once you have completed the document, you click on the signing button and that takes you to the signing configuration page. Here you can see the purchaser details and the vendor details for the contract we're completing have automatically been pulled through. You can choose to set the signing order or not. If unselected, the document will be sent to all parties at once to sign. If you select Set Signing Order, you can choose which party signs first. In this instance, we'll make it the purchaser, as is the case in most contracts. If Set Signing Order is selected, you can choose whether the second and subsequent parties sign automatically or receive the email automatically after the purchaser has signed. In this instance, by leaving it unselected, I will be notified that the purchaser has signed, and I can choose when the vendor is sent the document to sign themselves. There are a number of signing methods built into the e-signing system. You can send it by email, they can sign on your screen on paper, where they sign it on paper, then scan it and save it onto the system, or an SMS link can be sent for signing. In addition, two-factor authentication can be an optional or a mandatory requirement for your agency. In this instance, the agency has been set up to have mandatory two-factor authentication, meaning as the end user, I can't remove that requirement. The e-signing functionality is fully integrated into Greatforms, so you don't need to tell the system where a party needs to sign. Further, there is a template email message set for you, which you can add to if you wish. Again, this is all included within Greatforms at no additional cost. In addition to electronically signing documents natively created within Greatforms, you can also sign PDFs created from outside Greatforms, but using the benefit of the party information that Greatforms knows. For example, if I navigate to all documents and upload a PDF created from outside the system, I can proceed to signing. Once in here, I can select from the parties that Greatforms knows are related to this property folder. In addition, I can select other contacts that have been created through its Add New Party function, one of which I prepared earlier. Like the native e-sign functionality, I can reorder it as I want, and I can customize the email message that is sent out. Different to the native Greatforms signing experience, there is an additional screen where I need to pull in where the parties that are to sign, given the document was created from outside Greatforms. So for example, for John Doe, I'm going to pull in where John Doe's signature needs to go, where his name goes, and where his email address goes. As you can see, I can resize fields. In addition to that, I can change the font type, I can change the font size, I can change the height, I can even change the text color. Further, I can pull in information about the property folder itself, which saves me manually typing information that the property folder already knows within Greatforms. This functionality means you do not need a third-party electronic signing platform like DocuSign, and it is provided at no additional cost. Greatforms remembers information about the property transaction to make future steps easier. For example, in this property folder, I have already created a sales agency agreement. I can elect to prepare a variation, for example, to deal with the price change following some open inspections. Because of the detailed data model, the system has remembered everything that has been prepared within the sales agency agreement within the system. I can collapse or expand it to go to the area that I want to adjust for the variation. In this example, this is an auction sales agency agreement. And one example of the rules that we've built in is if the vendor wanted to increase their selling price, the system wouldn't allow them to, because that's not allowed under an auction sales agency agreement during the term of that sales agency agreement. However, if on the back of feedback during the open inspections, the vendor wanted to reduce their selling price, all you need to do is amend their selling price in that field, and this automatically produces the variation document that needs to be prepared. From there, all you need to do is click on signing, and the system already knows who the vendor is and who the agent is, and you press submit for signing, and that is your variation done. This complex data model behind the scenes makes common processes simple for users, saving time and allowing agents and their admin teams to spend time on more valuable tasks that allow them to list and sell more properties.